Can I get some fellow Christian Redditors to share their testimonies of how God healed them? From illness, disease, addiction, etc. I think we can all use some encouragement. Share your stories of God working a miracle in your life or someone you know directly. Part 2. Testimony 1. Maybe I'm not completely healed. But when my ex of 3 years broke up with me, I felt the Lord talking to me and I couldn't be upset while she was talking me through it. I felt no sadness, just listened. I was a bit more focused on what I thought the Holy Spirit was saying. Needless to say, I've never in my life suffered worse than this breakup. I've been to funerals of relatives I was close with. It was so hard to understand my weeping, it was uncontrollable, and I was super new to giving my life to Christ. A couple months, but I was on fire. I could barely recognize my weeping. I thought it was my soul crying. But when I chose to pray to the Lord, "Be my strength," the verse "The Lord is my rock" became so much more real. The Lord is my absolute rock and my refuge. Testimony 2. I once hurt my ankle real bad playing dodgeball in youth group. It never seemed to heal, and when I'd step on it wrong, a shooting pain would go up my leg. One night at youth group we got into prayer groups and my friends prayed for my ankle, and ever since, 10 years ago, then I haven't had a single issue with my ankle. Testimony 3.
I was a victim of child abuse. Growing up, I had so much hate and resentment. I didn't understand why God allowed children to suffer. After I had my son, it got worse. The pain became unbearable. However, I knew something had to change, mainly because I didn't want it to affect me being a good mom to my son. I couldn't allow that to define me. I prayed and prayed to God, asking, begging, pleading that if He existed, to give me peace and take away the hatred and pain in my heart. Gradually, I started to feel my heart healing. The pain was less and less. I surrendered my pain to God. I let Him heal me. I let go of my past and aligned my heart and mind with God. 30 years after my trauma began, I can say without a doubt, God healed me. I no longer hurt, at least like I used to. I am no longer angry or resentful. And that changed a lot more. I don't let theirs control my feelings or emotions. If I get upset or someone hurts me, I give it to God. I no longer allow anger to reside in my heart. As Matthew 19:26 says, what seems impossible to you is never impossible to God. I am healed, all glory to Yahweh. So yes, it's a miracle.
Testimony 4.
When I was in college, I experienced severe depression. I was suicidal, with plan, intent, means, and I was going to do it that afternoon. I went to church with a friend for the first time in a long time that morning. I don't know why, maybe a goodbye, maybe a last-ditch effort, no clue. In church that day, a man went up to the front and said he had something to share. This was the first time I had ever been to this church, so I had no idea who he was. He shared that the Lord had been laying it on his heart to share this. He said there was someone in the crowd, a young woman, who was struggling and hurting, and needed to ask for help. I felt like I had been hit by a freight train. I burst into tears immediately and, for the first time, shared what I was experiencing with someone else. I finally shared with my therapist and got medication that Tuesday. I still struggle sometimes, especially when something major happens, but it's been manageable for about 5 years now. I was able to finish college, got my master's, and now I do my best to help college kids who are struggling.
Testimony 5.
I have implants and my dentist told me one of them had to be removed as all the bone had disappeared around it. I had to go away for 3 months and had been praying during that time that God would save my implant by some miracle. When I returned to the dentist, he was surprised to find the bone had regrown around the implant, so it didn't need to be removed. He kept checking the before and after 3D X-rays as he couldn't believe what he was seeing. I'm so grateful to God for His healing.
You've made it to the end. If you've liked this video and would like to see more content like this, like and subscribe. If you have a testimony you'd like to share, send it to us at resilientfaithtestimony@gmail.com.